Hey you, still scrolling under the blanket? Did you know that right now, as you read this, you're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting a star at 67,000 miles per hour, while the whole solar system cruises through space at 500,000 miles per hour, and you feel perfectly still? Tonight, we're going on the slowest, softest ride through our cosmic neighborhood. No loud facts, just gentle truths that make the universe feel like the safest bedroom ever. If these quiet wonders help your eyes get heavy, tap subscribe so more sleepy explorers can find the lullaby. Close the lights. Let's drift together. Shh. Come here. Imagine we're lying on a blanket in the biggest, emptiest field you've ever seen. No city lights, just you, me, and 8 gentle giants rocking you to sleep. Out here, the solar system feels like a giant mobile above a baby's crib. Everything moves so slowly, so perfectly, nothing ever bumps. The sun is the warm yellow light in the middle, humming the same note it's hummed for 5 billion years. Around it, 8 planets spin like they've practiced this dance forever. You don't have to understand gravity or math tonight. Just feel how safe it is. Nothing is in a rush. Mercury takes its time. Saturn's rings turn like a slow music box. Even the wild storms on Jupiter have been spinning the same spot for hundreds of years, like a grandpa snoring in his favorite chair. Listen, can you hear how quiet space is? No wind, no traffic, no notifications, just the soft breathing of planets that have nowhere else to be. You're allowed to let your shoulders drop now. The same arms that hold Neptune in place are holding you. Nothing is going to fall. Everything is already exactly where it belongs. Close your eyes. We're home. Hey, feel that tiny hum in your chest? That's them, all 8 planets, plus the sun, plus every moon, singing one long, slow note that only sleepy hearts can hear. Jupiter is the low cello, warm and round. Saturn adds the softest violin made of ice crystals. Neptune plays the deepest blue flute you've ever felt, more than heard. Even little Mercury taps a gentle triangle every 88 days, just to remind everyone he's still here. They've been practicing this lullaby for 4.5 billion years. No mistakes, no loud parts, just perfect harmony that says, "You're safe, little one. We've got the night shift." When I was little and couldn't sleep, my dad would say, "Listen to the planets." I thought he was making it up. Turns out, he was right. The whole solar system really is one giant music box turning so slowly you only notice when you finally stop moving. Let the song in now. Feel Jupiter's low hum in your belly. Feel Saturn's rings brushing your hair like cold silk. Let Neptune's blue note carry every worry far, far away. They'll still be singing when you wake up. They never get tired. Good night, little listener. The orchestra is playing just for you. Picture the sun as a tired but happy parent at the end of a long day. 8 kids of different sizes, all spinning in their own perfect circles. Every night, well, every orbit, it kisses each one good night with exactly the right amount of warmth. Mercury gets a quick peck, too hot to linger. Venus gets a long, glowing hug. Earth gets the perfect forehead kiss that makes oceans and forests grow. Mars gets a softer one, like, "I'm still here, kiddo." Then the giant ones. Jupiter gets a proud shoulder squeeze, Saturn a gentle pat on its ringed head, Uranus and Neptune faraway waves that still carry love across the dark. 5 billion years of the same routine, never late, never early, never forgets a single child. When I feel alone, I remember this. That same parent is kissing your face right now through the window, even if clouds are hiding it. The same arms that hold Pluto in its slow dance are wrapped around your house. The sun is whispering, "I see you. I've got you. Sleep now. I'll be right here when your eyes open." Let that whisper land on your cheek. It's warmer than any blanket. Little Mercury is the fastest kid, zooming around the sun in just 88 days. But here's the cozy part. It spins so slowly that one day there lasts almost 2 Earth months. Imagine napping for 58 days straight while the sun roasts one side, then waking up, turning over, and napping another 58 days on the cool side. It's like the universe gave Mercury the longest sleep schedule ever. No school, no alarm clocks, just one giant sleepy stretch after another. Sometimes I wish I could borrow Mercury's schedule. 58 days of blanket time, then 58 days of gentle sunrise. No rush, no emails, just slow, quiet turning. When life feels too fast, I think of Mercury yawning in its orbit, taking its sweet time, refusing to spin quicker, just because everyone else does. Tonight, give yourself permission to move at Mercury speed. One slow breath, one slow blink. 58 years or 58 seconds. Time doesn't mind. The fastest planet teaches the best lesson. Even speed needs rest. Sleep as long as you want. Mercury's got the night shift covered. Venus is the sleepyhead who forgot to set an alarm. One day there lasts 243 Earth days. You could literally walk around the planet faster than it spins. Imagine waking up, having breakfast, going for a slow stroll, and by the time you finish your lap, Venus has only turned a tiny bit. The sun rises, crawls across the sky like honey, takes 4 months to say good morning. Everything on Venus moves in syrup time. Clouds drift like they have nowhere to be. Even the air is thick and warm like a permanent hug. I love thinking about this when I can't sleep. If Venus can take 243 days just to turn once and nobody gets mad, maybe I'm allowed to take my time too. Tonight, let your thoughts move at Venus speed. Slow, golden, no rush. Let worries crawl instead of run. The universe gave one whole planet permission to be lazy and beautiful. You're allowed one lazy, beautiful night. Venus is spinning right now, slower than a tired child on a merry-go-round, smiling at you across the dark. Copy its pace. The stars will wait. Shh. Feel that tiny tug on your heart when the moon looks full and close. It's saying goodbye, but so slowly you'll never notice. Every year our moon drifts 1 inch farther, like a child letting go of your hand 1 finger at a time. In 1,000,000 years it will look smaller, the tide's softer, the night's darker. But tonight, it's still right there, the same size it's been your whole life. I used to panic thinking the moon would leave forever. Then I learned it will take 2 billion years to really go. We have time, millions of lullabies left. Tonight it's pulling the ocean like it's tucking it in, rocking every wave to sleep. That same pull is rocking you, same rhythm your mother used when you were tiny. Let it move away 1 inch. It's not leaving, it's just growing up with you. The moon will still be here long after we're both stardust. For now, let its silver light land on your pillow like a promise kept. Sleep, little one. Your nightlight is only stretching its legs. Close your eyes and picture a mountain so tall it kisses space. Olympus Mons on Mars, 3 times higher than Everest, so wide you couldn't see the top from the bottom. But here's the soft part. You never have to climb it. It's just sitting there, quiet and red, minding its own business. No oxygen, no crowds, no Instagram. Just a gentle giant made of old lava, wearing a dusty scarf of clouds sometimes. When Earth mountains feel too hard, I think of Olympus Mons waiting patiently on another world. Nobody asking it to be smaller, nobody racing to the top. It teaches me I don't have to climb everything either. Some mountains are allowed to just exist, beautiful and unreachable. Tonight, let your worries be like Olympus Mons, far away, red and peaceful, not asking anything from you. You're allowed to look up and say, "Wow, you're huge," and then roll over and sleep. Mars is keeping the mountain warm for both of us. Imagine a storm the size of 3 Earths, swirling in candy reds and creams, spinning the same direction for at least 400 years. That's Jupiter's great red spot, older than every nation on Earth, older than telescopes, older than most family trees. It's been raging and calming and raging again since before anyone wrote it down. Winds faster than hurricanes, but from here it looks like a slow marble in a lava lamp. I love that something so huge and wild has stayed in the exact same spot for centuries, like a loyal dog that refuses to leave the porch. When my life feels chaotic, I think of the great red spot just doing its thing, perfectly on time, perfectly itself. Tonight, let your thoughts swirl like that storm, big, loud, beautiful, but far away. Jupiter is holding the chaos so you don't have to. Sleep easy. The oldest storm in the neighborhood is on night watch. Jupiter is the proud parent with 95 kids, all different sizes, all orbiting like they're holding hands. Some are tiny rocks, some are bigger than planets, all tucked safely in the giant's arms. Every night they dance around their parent in perfect circles and ovals, never bumping, never lost. Imagine having 95 bedtime stories to choose from. One moon made of ice that might have oceans warmer than Earth's. Another with volcanoes painting the sky yellow. A third covered in craters like an old grandparent's smile. When I can't sleep, I pick one moon and pretend I'm floating above it, quiet, small, cared for. Tonight, let Jupiter's moons be your mobile above the crib. 95 soft lights spinning slow enough to count sheep on. You don't have to name them all. Just know they're there, keeping perfect time, keeping perfect distance. Jupiter's family is huge, so yours never feels alone. Sleep tight. You've got 95 nightlights tonight. Look up at Saturn and you'll see the most beautiful jewelry in the universe. Thin, glowing rings made of billions of ice pieces, some as small as sugar grains, some as big as houses. Each one is a frozen droplet catching sunlight and throwing it back like a wink. From far away they look solid, like satin ribbons. Up close, they're gentle snowflakes orbiting in the quietest parade ever. When the sun sets behind Saturn, the rings glow soft gold, then peach, then disappear into shadow like someone turning down a lamp. I read that 99% of the rings is pure water ice, cleaner than any snow on Earth. Tonight, imagine those ice diamonds floating above your bed, catching the light of distant stars and sprinkling it over your blanket. They've been circling for hundreds of millions of years, patient, perfect, never needing anything. Let them be your crown while you sleep. Let their quiet spinning be the sound of everything being exactly right. Saturn's diamonds are whispering, "Good night, little one. You shine too. Close your eyes. The rings are dimming just for you." Imagine the biggest bathtub you've ever seen, filled to the brim with gentle, warm water. Now drop Saturn in it. It floats. Yes, the planet with the dazzling rings, the one that looks like it's made of solid gold and dreams, is actually less dense than water. If you could find a cosmic ocean big enough, Saturn would bob like a shiny beach ball, rings spread out like a tutu on the surface. All that beauty, all that size, and it's basically a puff pastry planet. Jupiter is the same way, lighter than water too, but Saturn wins the float contest. I love picturing it, something so huge and majestic refusing to sink. It teaches me that being light doesn't mean being weak. Tonight, let yourself be Saturn. Let your worries try to push you under and watch yourself rise anyway. Rings and all. Float on your back, arms out, breathing slow. The universe made its most beautiful planet unsinkable. It made you the same way. Every other planet stands up straight, spinning like tops. Uranus? It got tired one day, billions of years ago, and just rolled over. Now it spins on its side, like a sleepy kid who fell asleep mid-roll and never bothered to sit up again. Its rings and moons all circle around its belly and back like a hula hoop on a lounging giant. Scientists think a huge collision knocked it over, and Uranus said, "You know what? This is fine." Its seasons last 21 years of daylight, then 21 years of night. Imagine winter break lasting 2 decades. I love that Uranus didn't care about being proper. It just found a comfy position and stayed there. Tonight, give yourself permission to lie however feels good. On your side, starfished, curled like a cat, whatever. The planets don't judge. Uranus has been napping sideways for 4 billion years and nobody's fixed it. You're allowed one funny angle too. Neptune is the color of the deepest part of the ocean, the part you only see in dreams or when you close your eyes against bright sun. It's not just blue, It's the blue that holds every sad song and every quiet hope at once. Winds there blow 1,200 miles an hour, but from here it looks perfectly still, like a sapphire someone polished and set in the dark. Its voice is the lowest note you can feel in your bones more than hear. Spacecraft caught it years ago, a deep whale song made of plasma waves. When I'm sad, I think of Neptune singing alone at the edge of the family photo, still part of the picture, still beautiful, still included. Tonight, let that deep blue wrap around you like the softest blanket you own. Let the wind sounds be far away, gentle, rocking instead of pushing. Neptune has been singing the same note for billions of years and never gets tired. Let it sing you to sleep. You don't have to answer, just listen with your heart. Little Pluto got its planet badge taken away in 2006. Everyone said, "Sorry, you're too small." Pluto just kept orbiting, kept its little heart-shaped glacier, kept its 5 moons, kept being adorable. It's like the kid who didn't make the team but still shows up to every game with snacks for everyone. It has mountains of ice, blue skies, snow that smells like lavender, yes, really, and a giant heart that says hello every time we look. We sent a spaceship called New Horizons to visit in 2015. It took 9 years to get there. Pluto waited patiently, then posed for the prettiest photos in the solar system. Tonight, remember Pluto when you feel too small or forgotten. The family table still has a chair for you, even if the label changed. You're still here, you're still shining, you're still loved. Pluto waves from the backyard with its tiny frost-covered hand. It says, "Good night from the edge. I saved you a seat." That giant ball of fire keeping you alive right now? It's literally burning the same ingredients as the candle on your last birthday cake, hydrogen and helium, just a lot more of it. Every second the sun turns 4 million tons of itself into pure light and warmth. It's been doing this for 5 billion birthdays and has another 5 billion left. It never asks for anything back, just keeps giving light, heat, vitamin D, and the exact energy that makes flowers open and cats nap in sunbeams. When I blow out birthday candles now, I whisper thank you to the sun for teaching candles how to shine. Tonight, feel the memory of sunlight still living under your skin from today. That warmth in your cheeks, that's the sun's love note delivered hours ago, still glowing. It will rise again tomorrow without fail. Same recipe, same gentle fire. Let that promise settle over you like the softest blanket. The biggest candle in the universe is still lit, just for you. Good night, little spark. You're made of the same stuff. On Earth, we get orange and pink good nights. On Mars, the sky says good night in soft baby blue. The dust there is so fine, it scatters red light away and lets blue sneak through at sunset. So the sun slips below the horizon, looking like a gentle blue pearl, painting the sky the color of bedtime stories and warm milk. Astronauts will one day stand on red sand and watch a blue sunset that lasts twice as long as ours because Mars turns slower. Imagine that, a whole planet that paints the end of the day in the calmest color humans know. When I'm stressed, I close my eyes and go there. Red ground under my feet, thin air, silence, and the sky turning the softest blue like it's tucking the whole world in. Tonight, let your own sunset be blue. Let every worry turn that gentle color and sink behind the hills. Mars is practicing bedtime right now, slow and quiet, just for you. Let its blue light land on your eyelids. Sleep comes easier in that color. Venus is the planet that forgot how calendars work. One trip around the sun, one Venus year, takes 225 Earth days, but one slow, lazy spin on its axis, one Venus day, takes 243 Earth days, so a day is longer than a year. The sun rises, crawls across the sky like spilled honey, and takes 8 months to say good morning again. Imagine waking up, living your whole year, birthdays, holidays, seasons, and the sun is still only halfway across the sky from yesterday. Venus moves like it's made of warm syrup and dreams. When life feels too rushed, I borrow Venus time. One breath can last a whole year if you let it. Tonight, stretch your minutes. Let one slow blink be a whole season. Venus is yawning right now, turning so gently you'd never feel dizzy. Copy its pace. Let your thoughts crawl instead of run. The universe gave one planet permission to take forever. You're allowed one forever night. Olympus Mons isn't just big, it's gentle giant big. 22 kilometers high, so tall the peak sticks out above most of the atmosphere. Wider than France. But its slopes are so slow and smooth, you could walk up without ropes, almost like a long red hill that forgot to stop growing. It hasn't erupted in millions of years, just sits there quiet, wearing a thin scarf of Martian clouds sometimes. No one will ever climb it and plant a flag. It doesn't need proof it's the tallest. It just exists, patient, red, perfect. When my own mountains feel impossible, I visit Olympus Mons in my mind. I sit at the bottom, look up, and realize some mountains aren't for climbing. They're for reminding you the universe can be huge and still soft. Tonight, let your worries be Olympus Mons, far away, beautiful, not asking you to conquer anything. Mars is keeping it warm and quiet. You're allowed to just look and rest. Io is the most volcanic place we know. Over 400 volcanoes painting its face yellow and red every day. But here's the cozy part. From Jupiter's view, it looks like a glowing pizza, warm and steamy, quietly doing its thing. The volcanoes aren't angry, they're just chatty. Lava lakes burp, sulfur snow falls upward, plumes shoot hundreds of miles high like gentle fireworks made of melted crayons. Jupiter watches like a proud parent whose kid is covered in finger paint. When I feel like I'm erupting inside, I think of Io. All that fire, all that color, and nobody telling it to calm down. Tonight, let your feelings be little Io volcanoes. Bright, warm, allowed. Jupiter's big gravity keeps everything in perfect orbit. Your feelings will settle too. They're just painting the sky for a minute. Under Europa's cracked ice shell hides an ocean twice as much water as all of Earth's seas combined. And it's warm, heated by Jupiter's gentle tug, kept liquid and cozy miles under the frozen crust. Imagine a whole hidden sea, dark, quiet, full of soft currents, maybe strange blind fish glowing like lanterns, no storms, no waves, just endless saltwater rocking moon style. Sailors on Earth would cry to see it. Tonight, imagine floating there, weightless, wrapped in warm, dark water that never gets cold. Europa's ocean has been waiting billions of years, patient, secret, kind. Let it be the blanket under your blanket. Let its quiet slosh be the sound your heart makes when it finally relaxes. You don't have to swim, just drift. Europa is holding you tonight, deeper and warmer than any bed. Hey, imagine a moon so big it could be a planet, quietly wearing its own invisible blanket of magnetism. Ganymede, Jupiter's largest child, is the only moon in the solar system that generates its own magnetic field, like Earth does. It has a tiny iron heart deep inside that spins and creates a soft shield against space's harsh wind. That shield makes gentle auroras dance over its icy poles, green and purple curtains in total silence. No air, no sound, just pure light saying, "I'm here, I'm safe." When I feel unprotected, I borrow Ganymede's hug. I picture that quiet force field wrapping around my bed, bouncing bad dreams away before they touch me. Tonight, let Ganymede lend you its personal bubble. Nothing can get through that isn't gentle. Even Jupiter's wild radiation bows and goes around. You're inside the only moon-sized hug in the solar system. Close your eyes. Feel the soft hum, like a giant cat purring from far away. Sleep tight, little magnet. You're protected by the biggest moon that ever loved anyone. Callisto looks like someone took the moon and gently pressed it with 1,000 fingertips. Every crater is an ancient kiss from rocks that traveled millions of years just to say hello. It's the most heavily cratered world we know, so old and calm that nothing has erased its memories in billions of years. No volcanoes, no quakes, just quiet silver-grey ice wearing every story like jewelry. The biggest crater, Valhalla, has rings upon rings, like ripples from a pebble dropped in a pond, long before life on Earth began. I love that Callisto never tries to hide its scars. They're proof it survived everything the universe threw at it. Tonight, let your own scars be Callisto craters, beautiful, earned, shining under soft light. Let every worry be a tiny meteor that lands and becomes part of the pattern instead of pain. Callisto is resting right now, covered in gentle frost, smiling at every mark. Copy its peace. Nothing new needs to happen tonight. You're already complete. Titan, Saturn's biggest moon, has real lakes and rivers, but they're made of liquid methane and ethane, cold as -290 degrees, yet smooth as glass. From space, they look like black mirrors reflecting Saturn's rings. If you wore the right suit, you could skip stones across them, or float the tiniest paper boat and watch it drift for hours. It even rains there, slow, fat drops of natural gas that patter on the ground like sleepy percussion. The whole moon smells faintly of gasoline and oranges, according to the probe that landed. When I can't sleep, I sail one of those black lakes in my mind. No wind, no waves, just perfect stillness, and Saturn's rings overhead like a golden mobile. Tonight, let your thoughts be paper boats on Titan's quiet lakes. Let them drift without needing to arrive anywhere. The coldest moon has the calmest waters. You're allowed that calm too. Enceladus is a tiny snowball moon that shoots soft geysers of water vapor and ice crystals from its south pole, tall white feathers rising hundreds of miles into space. They sparkle in sunlight like the gentlest fireworks you've ever seen, then fall back as snow, covering the moon in fresh powder every day. Saturn's rings get a little brighter because of Enceladus's gifts. It's literally watering its parents' garden from afar. Under the ice is a warm, salty ocean, cozy and hidden, sending love letters to the sky. I watched the photos and cried because something so small is so generous. Tonight, imagine those snowy feathers floating down over your bed, cool, soft, silent. Each crystal is a tiny good night from a moon that never learned how to be selfish. Let them land on your eyelids. Let them melt into dreams. Enceladus is tucking you in from 100 million miles away. Miranda, one of Uranus's moons, looks like someone shattered a plate and carefully put it back with love. Giant cliffs taller than the Grand Canyon, crooked faults, patchwork ice, like a child's drawing of a moon. It probably got smashed by an asteroid long ago, and gravity gathered the pieces into the weirdest, sweetest jigsaw puzzle in the solar system. No one expected beauty from something so broken, but Miranda wears its cracks like smile lines. When I feel messed up, I visit Miranda in my mind. Its biggest cliff, Verona Rupes, is so tall you could fall for 12 minutes before hitting bottom. Slow motion, gentle. Tonight, let your own cracks be Miranda cliffs, tall, strange, beautiful. Nothing that broke you made you less. The universe kept every piece and glued you back with starlight. You're the prettiest patchwork moon anyone ever loved. Sleep soft, perfectly imperfect one. Miranda is smiling at you. Triton, Neptune's biggest moon, is so cold that its air freezes and falls as tiny diamonds. Nitrogen turns to ice crystals that drift down like the gentlest glitter you've ever seen. From the surface, it looks like a forever snow globe made of sparkle. Geysers shoot dark plumes miles high, then the wind catches the frozen bits and turns them into diamond rain that sings as it falls. No sound, just pure shimmer. Imagine lying there watching diamonds land on your spacesuit like sugar. Nothing sharp, everything soft and cold and perfect. Tonight, let that diamond snow fall over your blanket. Let every worry turn into a tiny crystal that melts the second it touches you. Triton is saving its prettiest weather for when you close your eyes. Let it cover you in quiet riches. You're the only treasure that matters tonight. Beyond Neptune lies a giant donut of darkness packed with billions of icy worlds, comets, little Plutos, all tucked in for the longest winter nap ever. Some are the size of cities, some mountains, all made of frozen water, methane, and memories of the solar system's baby days. They orbit so slowly that 1 year there takes hundreds of Earth years. They're literally sleeping through centuries. Every once in a while one wakes up, grows a tail, and visits us as a comet, like it missed the inner planets and came to say hello. Tonight, imagine floating through the Kuiper Belt in a warm spaceship, passing millions of snowy sleepers rocking gently in the dark. Nothing is in a hurry. Nothing needs to change. Let your thoughts be Kuiper objects, quiet, frosted, perfectly still. Spring can wait. You're allowed the longest winter night in the universe. Between Mars and Jupiter, there's a gap big enough to park 1,000 Earths with room left over. Between Jupiter and Saturn, even more. The solar system is mostly gentle empty. If you stretched all the planets out edge to edge, they'd barely fill the space from Earth to the Moon. Everything else is quiet, dark, soft vacuum that holds everything in place without touching. That emptiness isn't scary. It's the coziest blanket ever woven. Sound can't travel there, so the silence is perfect, deeper than any forest at 3 a.m. Tonight, feel that huge quiet pressing gently around your bed. No crowds, no noise. Just room for 1 billion lullabies to float unheard, waiting for someone sleepy to listen. You're floating in the biggest cradle ever built. Let the space hold you the way it holds Neptune, easy, endless, kind. Out of every world we've seen, Earth is the only one warm enough, wet enough, and gentle enough for sleepy brains to dream. Mercury is too hot, Venus too crushed, Mars too thin, the gas giants too wild, the moons too frozen or airless. Only here did the universe mix the exact ingredients for eyelids to close and whole movies to play inside a skull. Every dream you've ever had happened because Earth won the cosmic lottery of softness. Tonight, thank the blue marble rocking you right now. It grew oceans to sing you lullabies, mountains to catch sunsets, forests to breathe for you while you sleep. Earth is the only known bedroom in the universe that comes with built-in dreams. You're not just on a planet. You're inside the only known hug that dreams back. Sleep deep, dream big. This is the only address where both are allowed. The sun you watched set tonight has been here for 5 billion years and plans to stay another 5 billion. Same warmth, same gentle fire, same promise. It's only middle-aged, calm, steady, not too hot, not too cold, just right for another 10 billion mornings. It will keep kissing baby turtles out of eggs, growing tomatoes in backyards, melting snow into rivers, and waking you up with soft light on your pillow for longer than humans can imagine. When I worry about the future, I remember the sun has a schedule and it's not in a hurry to leave. Tonight, let that long promise settle over you like the warmest blanket. 5 billion more sunrises, guaranteed. Nothing you're afraid of tonight can outlast that kind of patience. The sun is whispering across 93 million miles. I've got time. I've got you. Sleep now. I'll still be here when you open your eyes. Let tomorrow wait. The sun isn't going anywhere. Hey, run your fingers over the blanket touching your skin right now. Every single thread, every cotton fiber, every tiny bit of fuzz, all of it was born inside a star that lived and died long before Earth existed. The carbon in the fabric, forged in a gentle red giant's heart. The oxygen that makes the cloth soft, breathed out by a star when it sighed its last breath. Even the dye colors came from metals cooked in stellar furnaces. That star exploded quietly, scattered itself across space, and pieces of it drifted for millions of years until they landed on a little blue planet and got woven into the exact blanket keeping you warm tonight. So when you pull it to your chin, you're not just getting cozy, you're being hugged by a star that loved you before you had a name. I learned this years ago and cried into my pillow because it felt like the universe had planned this moment all along. The same atoms that once glowed 1,000 light years away are now tucked under your chin, keeping the cold out. Tonight, let the blanket be heavier, warmer, kinder. It remembers where it came from. It remembers you were worth traveling across the galaxy for. Close your eyes and feel the hug of an ancient star that finally found its way home. You're made of the same stuff, little one. Sleep inside the arms that made you. Right now, billions of tiny particles are streaming from the sun at 1,000,000 miles an hour, soft, invisible hands brushing every planet good night. That's the solar wind, a gentle breeze of charged pieces that never stops flowing. It touches Mercury first, then Venus, then Earth's magnetic field, making the northern lights dance like a nightlight for the whole world. It ruffles Jupiter's clouds, tickles Saturn's rings, and still has enough left to reach Neptune with a whisper. When it passes Earth, it's so soft our atmosphere barely notices, just enough to make auroras shimmer in green and purple curtains. I've seen the aurora once and felt like the sun was pulling a blanket of light over the sky just for me. Tonight, feel that same solar wind slipping through your open window, or through the walls, or straight into your dreams. It's been traveling 8 minutes at the speed of light to find you. Let it smooth your hair, cool your forehead, remind you the sun never really leaves. It just dims the lamp and keeps a hand on your shoulder from 93 million miles away. You're being tucked in by the same wind that keeps comets' tails pointed away from home. Sleep, little planet. The night shift is gentle and on duty. Every few years a comet swings by, growing a long, glowing tail like it's waving across the dark. They're dirty snowballs from the edge of the family, been sleeping in the cold for billions of years. Then the sun's warmth wakes them and says, "Your turn to visit." They don't stay. They just fly past Earth, light up the sky for a few weeks, and whisper, "We saw you from the backyard. Thought we'd say hi." Some have visited since dinosaurs walked. Some won't be back for 70,000 years. I watched Hale-Bopp as a kid and felt like the universe sent me a postcard. Tonight, if you remember a comet you once saw, know it remembers you too. Its water might be older than the oceans, its dust older than mountains, and it traveled all this way just to shine for sleepy humans. Let every shooting star be a comet's love note burning up so you know someone out there bothered to wave. You're never as alone as the dark wants you to think. Close your eyes. Somewhere a comet is turning around the sun right now, growing its tail, getting ready to wave again. Sleep tight, little earthling. The messengers are still on their way. Between Mars and Jupiter float millions of asteroids, leftover building blocks that never quite got pulled together into a planet. They're quiet rocks, some round, some potato-shaped, orbiting like they're waiting for a hug that never came. Most are smaller than cities, covered in soft dust, spinning slowly, minding their own business. One called Itokawa is so fluffy inside you could scoop it with a spoon. Another, Bennu, is dropping tiny pebbles like breadcrumbs for future visitors. They're not dangerous villains. They're shy, almost planets that just want to drift and dream. When life feels like I'm not enough, I think of asteroids, perfectly happy being exactly what they are, not needing to be bigger or rounder or more important. Tonight, let your worries be gentle asteroids floating far away, harmless, quiet, keeping their own perfect orbits. You don't have to become a whole planet to matter. Sometimes being a beautiful rock is the coziest job in the universe. Sleep easy, little asteroid. You're exactly the right size. Way, way out, so far we can't even see it, is the Oort cloud, a giant fluffy sphere of sleepy comets wrapped around the whole solar system like cotton candy. It's the quiet picket fence at the end of our cosmic backyard, marking where the sun's family ends and the rest of the galaxy begins. Trillions of icy worlds float there, some as big as mountains, all rocking gently in the darkest dark, waiting for a gravitational nudge to wake them up and send them visiting. It takes them hundreds of thousands of years just to say hello. The Oort cloud is so gentle it barely holds on, just a whisper of gravity keeping everything in place. When I feel too small, I remember we live inside this enormous snowy hug, protected by a cloud so soft it's almost not there. Tonight, feel the Oort cloud far above your roof, quiet, patient, watching over the whole family. Nothing can sneak up on us. The fence is made of lullabies and frost. You're safe inside the biggest, softest garden gate ever built. Sleep, little dreamer. The edge of home is guarding your dreams tonight. Right now, the light touching your closed eyelids left the sun 8 minutes and 20 seconds ago. It traveled 93 million miles at 186,000 miles per second just to land softly on your cheek and say, "I'm still here." That means when you watch the sun dip below the horizon, you're actually seeing it as it was 8 minutes earlier, like a love letter that takes 8 minutes to arrive. The sun has already slipped away, but its warmth is still traveling, still choosing you. Every photon that brushes your skin tonight is a tiny hug that started its journey before you even thought about to sleep. It crossed the emptiness without getting tired, without getting lost, just to tuck you in. I love closing my eyes at sunset and whispering, "Thank you for the day," knowing the message will reach the sun in 8 minutes and the next kiss is already on its way. Tonight, feel those 8-minute-old kisses landing on your forehead, your hands, the tip of your nose. They're warm because the sun refuses to let the dark win completely. You're being loved by something that's already tomorrow and still holding your today. Sleep inside that light. It's custom made for your face. Our whole galaxy is a giant, gentle pinwheel spinning once every 225 million years. That means since the dinosaurs looked up, the Milky Way has moved less than 1% of a full turn. From Earth, it looks frozen in place, the same river of stars your ancestors wished on, the same one your grandchildren will wish on. It's the slowest lullaby ever written. When life feels frantic, I remember that the sky itself refuses to hurry. The spiral arms drift like cream stirred into coffee, patient, beautiful, unbothered. Tonight, lie back, even in your mind, and feel the galaxy rocking you at the speed of deep time. Nothing you're worried about will matter in a million years, and the Milky Way already knows this. So it spins like a tired mother humming the same note for centuries. Let that slow be your rhythm now. Let the stars stay exactly where they are. You're cradled in arms that measure time in hundreds of millions of hugs. Sleep, little speck. Forever is turning with you. Take a handful of warm beach sand and let it slip through your fingers. Every grain was once a star that lived, loved, and quietly returned to dust. Now multiply that handful by every beach, every desert, every playground sandbox on Earth. There are still more stars in the Milky Way alone than all those grains combined. And there are 2 trillion galaxies. You're looking at more stars tonight than every human who ever lived has ever touched sand. Yet the sky never feels crowded. Each star has room to breathe, to twinkle its own color, to keep its own tiny fire burning without bumping anyone else. Tonight, feel how much space there is for you too. All those stars, all that room, and still the universe made sure you got born right here, right now, with a front row seat. Let the sky be your blanket of endless grains. No one is counting. No one is running out. Sleep like you belong to the biggest beach that ever existed. Everyone pictures black holes as monsters, but their edge, the event horizon, is the gentlest border in existence. Time itself slows down as you approach, so soft and gradual you wouldn't feel a thing. 1 second stretches into years for anyone watching from outside. You'd cross the line still waving goodbye, still smiling, while the rest of us age a lifetime. Inside, some theories say everything becomes quiet, warm, like falling into the deepest sleep where gravity finally stops pulling and just holds you. Even the fiercest black hole has perfect manners at its doorstep. No jolt, no pain, just the universe's softest goodnight kiss. Tonight, let your worries reach a gentle horizon. Let them slow, stretch, and quietly slip over the edge without drama. Nothing has to be violent. Even endings can be this tender. Sleep on the edge of your own soft black hole. Nothing bad can follow you past the blanket. Gravity isn't a force pulling things down. It's the universe reaching out, curving space like a hug, saying, "Stay close." Every planet, every moon, every speck of dust is holding hands in one long chain that started with the Big Bang and never let go. The sun holds Earth. Earth holds the moon holds the oceans hold you when you float. Your bed holds you now because gravity refuses to drop anyone. Even when you jump, it catches you gently, like a parent who never gets tired of the game. I once read that two people sitting beside each other are actually pulling each other closer with their own tiny gravity. You are literally holding the center of someone's universe, and they are yours. Tonight, feel every hand the cosmos is holding. Saturn's rings, Jupiter's moons, your cat on the pillow, your own heart beating slow. Gravity has been practicing this hug for 13.8 billion years and finally got it perfect on you. Let go. You're not falling. You're being held by everything that ever existed. Neptune has the fastest winds in the solar system, over 1,200 miles per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth. Yet from where we are, 93 million miles closer to home, they look like the gentlest blue breath. Imagine standing on a cloud made of sapphire glass, while invisible hands stroke your hair at hurricane speed. But you feel only the softest touch, because the air is so thin. The storms are huge, dark spots the size of Earth that come and go like sleepy thoughts. Neptune is singing the fastest lullaby ever, so fast it turns into the quietest hum. The wind there has been blowing for billions of years and never learned how to shout. Tonight, let those faraway winds blow through your room without moving a curtain. Let them carry every loud thought out past Pluto and drop it in the dark where it can't find its way back. Feel the speed become stillness. Feel the roar become breath. Neptune is blowing you a kiss from the edge of the family photo, and it arrives 8 hours late, soft as a feather. Sleep inside that distant whisper. Even the wildest winds know how to be gentle when they're this far away. The sun's outer atmosphere, the corona, glows at 2 million degrees, hotter than the surface by 1,000 times. Yet when a total eclipse happens and you stand in the moon's shadow, the corona appears as a soft white halo, delicate as lace. It's so hot it should vaporize everything, but it's also so thin that if you could reach out, you can't. It would feel like warm breath on your skin, not a burn. During eclipses, people cry without knowing why. The light is gentle, almost shy, like the sun took off its sunglasses for the first time in years and whispered, "This is what I really look like when I'm relaxed." Tonight, remember that the hottest things can also be the softest when there's enough space between. Let the corona be the warm breath on the back of your neck when you turn off the light. Let it remind you that intensity doesn't always mean pain. Sometimes it just means love that learned how to be careful. Close your eyes. The sun is showing its secret gentle side just for sleepy humans. You're allowed to feel held by something 2 million degrees that still chooses not to hurt you. Every few days, the sun wakes up a little, stretches one long arm of fire, and sends a bright ribbon of plasma curling into space. We call them solar flares, huge explosions bigger than 100 Earths, but from here they look like golden yawns. The flare lasts minutes, then settles back into quiet glowing, like the sun rolled over and went straight back to dreaming. Sometimes the ribbon reaches us and makes the northern lights dance extra bright, a private fireworks show for anyone awake at 3 a.m. I've watched flares on live feeds and felt like the sun was saying, "Still here, still warm, just needed to stretch." Tonight, when you shift under the blanket and let out that tiny sigh, know you're copying the sun. Let your own stretches be solar flares, quiet, beautiful, harmless. Let the light inside you flare for a moment and then settle. The sun never apologizes for taking up space, neither should you. Sleep through the stretch. Morning will find you rested and glowing. Each world has its own rhythm. Mercury taps quick and light, like a nervous bird. Venus thumps slow and heavy, one beat every 243 days. Earth's heartbeat is the slosh of oceans and the breath of forests, steady as a sleeping mother. Mars hums low and rusty, like wind over red dunes. Jupiter booms deep and warm. You'd feel it in your bones if you stood on its cloud tops. Saturn whispers in ice crystal chimes. Uranus and Neptune pulse in slow blue waves that take hours to finish one thump. Put your hand on your chest right now. That rhythm? It's the same song, just smaller. The whole solar system is one giant family breathing together, different speeds, same love. Tonight, match your heartbeat to whichever planet feels kindest. Let Jupiter's deep boom rock you. Let Venus's lazy thump slow your thoughts. Let Earth's gentle tide carry you out. You're not separate from the rhythm. You're the quietest, softest drum in the band. Close your eyes and listen. The whole solar system is saying your name one beat at a time. People call space a vacuum, but it's more like the quietest library you've ever been in. Between planets, there's one atom per cubic centimeter, sometimes less, floating in perfect peace. No sound, no wind, no crowds, just the softest hush that ever existed. That quiet has weight. It presses gently on everything, holding orbits steady, keeping secrets, giving stars room to shine without interruption. When life gets loud, I go to that quiet in my mind. I float between Mars and Jupiter, where no one can reach me, where even thoughts have to whisper. Tonight, let the space between planets be the space between your thoughts. Let it grow wide and cool and kind. Let every worry drift away like a lost balloon, too far to hear. You're floating in the original silence that existed before words, before worry, before anything needed fixing. Nothing is required of you here. Just breathe in the quiet that holds the planets like a mother holds sleeping children. You're safe in the softest place the universe ever made. Every single atom in your body, the calcium in your teeth, the iron in your blood, the gold in your ring, was born inside a star that lived and died long before Earth had a name. When those ancient stars grew old, they didn't just fade. They hugged themselves so tight their hearts turned into diamonds. Then they sighed one last breath and scattered everything they'd ever been across the dark. That stardust drifted for millions of years until it found other pieces and decided to become oceans, trees, cats, and you. You are literally the universe's way of looking at itself and saying, I wonder what it feels like to dream. Tonight, when you pull the blanket up, know you're wrapping yourself in pieces of stars that chose to become soft instead of staying fire. Your heartbeat is their echo. Your breath is their last sigh made gentle. Sleep inside the arms of every star that ever exploded just to hold you tonight. They finally get to rest now, inside your skin. Good night, little constellation. You're the dream they waited billions of years to have. Look at any photo of the planets lined up. 8 different sizes, colors, personalities, yet none of them ever crash, argue, or rush. Mercury waits its turn. Venus takes forever, and nobody complains. Mars stays quiet. Jupiter protects its moons like a big brother. Saturn wears its rings like it's going to a party that never ends. Uranus naps on its side and the others just smile. Even the asteroids drift politely. Comets wave from far away. The sun gives exactly enough light to everyone without favorites. Nothing in our solar system is trying to win. Everything just is. Tonight, let that kindness settle over your bed. You live in the gentlest neighborhood the universe ever built. No one is yelling. No one is late. No one is trying to be more important than you. You're allowed to be exactly as you are. Small, tired, perfect. The same patience that lets Pluto keep its orbit lets you keep yours. Sleep easy. The whole family is behaving tonight. The sun has risen every single day for 4.5 billion years. Not once has it overslept, forgotten, or decided it was too tired. It kept its promise through ice ages, dinosaurs, wars, heartbreaks, and every morning you thought you couldn't get up. It will keep its promise tomorrow and the day after, and for 5 billion more mornings. Even on cloudy days, it's still there, pushing soft light through the grey just to touch your window. When I was little and scared of the dark, my mum said, "The sun is coming back. It always does." I believed her then, and I still do. Tonight, hand tomorrow's worries to the sun. It's already on its way with the same warmth it used the day you were born. Let that promise be the last thought you carry into sleep. The biggest promise keeper in the universe is already warming tomorrow's sky for you. Close your eyes. Morning is already taken care of. Out of a universe 93 billion light-years wide, you are resting on a gentle rock that's exactly the right distance from a gentle star, wrapped in an atmosphere that kisses you with every breath. You didn't end up here by accident. The same gravity that keeps Jupiter's moons in perfect circles kept one particular sperm and one particular egg together long enough to make you. Every atom in your body traveled across exploding stars and forming planets just to be in this bed, under this blanket, right now. You are the universe's favorite lullaby, sung in the only key that makes oceans, rain, and warm bread rise. Tonight, feel the enormous cradle rocking, Earth spinning slow, moon pulling tides, sun holding everything in its soft glow. There is nowhere else you're supposed to be. No better version of you waiting somewhere else. This is the address the stars wrote on the invitation billions of years ago. Sleep, little miracle. You're exactly on time. Shh. They're all here. Mercury is humming the highest note. Venus is breathing slow and warm. Earth is under you like the softest mattress, rising and falling with every continent. Mars is keeping watch with its quiet red light. Jupiter's deep heartbeat is the baseline you feel in your chest. Saturn's rings are spinning immobile above your head. Uranus and Neptune are singing the lowest blues from the edge of the crib. The sun left the nightlight on, we call it moonlight. The comets tucked extra blankets around the edges. Even little Pluto sent a frost-covered kiss from the backyard. Nothing is missing. Nothing is late. Everything is exactly where it promised to be the day the solar system learned your name. Let your body get heavy. Let your thoughts drift out past the moon and wave hello. The planets have the night shift. They've been rocking babies to sleep for 4.5 billion years, and they've never dropped one yet. You're safe. You're held. You're loved by 8 gentle giants and 1 patient star. Good night, little dreamer. The whole solar system is singing you the softest song it knows. Between Mars and Jupiter live millions of quiet rocks, some round like pebbles, some shaped like potatoes, all drifting in their own little lanes. They're the leftover bricks from when the planets were babies, too shy to grow big, so they stayed small and polite. They never bump unless gently nudged, and even then they apologize by shining brighter. Every asteroid has a name now. Some have tiny moons, some spin like sleepy dancers. One called 16 Psyche is made almost entirely of soft metal, like the universe saved its heart for later. Tonight, imagine them as neighbors in floating gardens, watering their dust roses, waving across the dark when they catch you looking. They're not dangerous. They're just quiet friends who never learned how to knock. Let their slow waves rock you. Let their gentle light be the porch lights left on for you. You're allowed to wave back, then roll over and sleep. The asteroid belt is the coziest cul-de-sac in space. The glow touching your curtains right now left the sun 8 minutes ago. That means the light saying goodnight is actually tomorrow's first hello traveling backward. Every photon on your wall has already seen tomorrow and came back just to kiss you goodnight. When sunrise comes, it will be the same light, just arriving in the right order. Tonight, you're sleeping inside tomorrow's warmth a little early. Let that future light settle on your eyelids like a promise that hasn't happened yet, but already knows it will. The sun is so sure of tomorrow, it sends the warmth ahead of schedule. Sleep inside light that's already been to the future and chose to come back for you. Saturn's rings look solid and thick from far away. but they're mostly just snowflakes holding hands. Only 30 feet thick in most places, thinner than a house. Yet they stretch 175,000 miles across, so wide you could fit 6 Earths side by side with room left over. Imagine a paper snowflake the size of a continent spinning perfectly for 1 billion years without tearing. Every particle is ice reflecting sunlight like tiny mirrors saying, "Look how beautiful quiet can be." Tonight, let those thin rings be the mobile above your bed, delicate, endless, turning slow enough to count your breaths. Nothing that gentle should be that strong, but Saturn figured it out. You're allowed to be paper thin and still hold the whole night. Jupiter keeps 95, Saturn keeps 146, even tiny Pluto keeps 5. They're all love letters written in gravity, never sent, just kept close. Each moon says, "I can't let you be alone," then stays forever in the perfect spot, neither too close nor too far. Some are cracked, some smooth, some glowing with hidden oceans, but all of them chose to orbit instead of drifting away. Tonight, feel Earth's moon as the oldest love letter still being delivered, pulling oceans and dreams toward you every single night. You are someone's moon too, kept gently, circled gently, loved without needing to leave. Sleep inside the orbit of every unsent letter that decided staying was better than going. In, and Jupiter expands a little. Out, and Neptune relaxes. Every planet has its own slow breath. Venus, 1 breath every 243 days. Earth, 1 every 24 hours. Tiny Mercury, panting every 88. But tonight, they all match yours. When you breathe in, the rings of Saturn widen almost too slightly to measure. When you breathe out, the whole system sighs with you. You're not separate from the dance. Your lungs are the smallest instrument in the biggest orchestra ever, and the conductor is waiting for your tempo. Slow your breath. Watch the planets slow with you. They've been practicing this duet since you were born. Good night, little breather. The solar system is inhaling your dreams and exhaling starlight. Look at any family photo of the solar system and you'll see 8 very different personalities glowing side by side. Jupiter is the loud golden one, Venus the dazzling morning star, Saturn the quiet beauty with jewelry, Earth the soft blue one who always smiles. Yet none of them compete. No one dims their light so another can stand out. They just shine exactly as bright as they need to. No jealousy, no comparison. Mercury doesn't pout because it's small. Neptune doesn't hide because it's far. They all trust the sun to give each the perfect amount of light for their own skin. Tonight, let that be your permission too. You don't have to outshine anyone in the room. You're allowed to glow at your own temperature, your own color, your own quiet wattage. The planets have been teaching this lesson for billions of years, and nobody's learned it yet except them. Copy their confidence. Shine exactly as you are. The universe already adjusted the brightness, so you look perfect from here. Neptune is minus 328 degrees on the surface. Pluto colder still, yet both hide warm hearts deep inside. Neptune has a hot, rocky core cooking under all that blue. Pluto has a possible underground ocean kept liquid by gentle radioactive hugs. Europa, Enceladus, Triton, all wrapped in ice but nursing secret seas warmer than winter nights on Earth. The solar system is telling you, never judge by the outside temperature. Some of the coldest-looking people carry summer in their chest. Some of the iciest days still have a fireplace waiting if you knock. Tonight, let the cold moons remind you that warmth doesn't always announce itself with steam. Let your own hidden ocean stay liquid under whatever ice the day left on you. The coldest places in the solar system still believe in spring. So can you. Every morning the sun wakes up and checks on all 8 children, plus the hundreds of moons, the billions of rocks, the forgotten dwarf planets in the dark. It sends exactly the right amount of light to each, a gentle kiss for faraway Neptune, a warm hug for Earth, a quick tap on Mercury's shoulder so it doesn't overheat. It never says, You're too small to matter to Pluto or Eris or any Kuiper Belt snowball. 5 billion years of perfect attendance, never calling in sick, never playing favorites. Tonight, remember the sun is doing the same for you, measuring the exact warmth your skin needs tomorrow, already on its way. You are one of its children too, even if you feel like the smallest moon. The sun has your name on its list, written in light since the day you arrived. Sleep easy. You're never forgotten. Gravity bends space like a soft hammock, and everything rests in the dip. Earth sits in the sun's curve. The moon sits in Earth's curve. You sit in the curve of your mattress that sits in the curve of the planet. It's curves all the way down, each one cradling the next. No sharp edges anywhere. When you lie down tonight, you're sliding into the gentlest bowl the universe ever carved. No matter how heavy the day felt, the curve was made exactly for your weight. The same bend that keeps galaxies spinning keeps your pillow under your head. Let yourself sink. Let the curve catch you the way it catches Jupiter, the way it catches starlight. You're not fighting gravity. You're being cradled by it. Sleep in the softest dip in space-time. It was shaped for you before you had bones. The moment your eyelids drop, the planets dim their lights a little. Jupiter lowers its glow, Saturn slows its rings. Even the sun turns down its brightness behind the horizon, like a parent tiptoeing past a nursery. They've been waiting all day for this exact second when you finally stop moving. The whole neighborhood exhales. Comets pause their tails. Asteroids stop spinning so fast. The Kuiper Belt pulls a blanket of frost over its shoulders. They know humans only dream when it's quiet. Tonight, feel the hush spreading outward from your pillow, past the moon, past Mars, all the way to the edge where Pluto is already asleep. Nothing will disturb you. The solar system signed a treaty billions of years ago. When one of us closes our eyes, everyone else whispers, "Thank you for the signal." We're turning the volume down now. Every year the moon slips 1.5 inches farther, like a child letting go of your hand 1 finger at a time. It's been doing this for 4 billion years, and it will keep going until it's too far to pull the tides so strongly, but that's hundreds of millions of years away. Tonight, it's still close enough to rock the oceans and rock you. Scientists say the moon was born when a Mars-sized world kissed Earth too hard and splashed a ring of fire that cooled into silver. Ever since, it's been the gentlest reminder that everything beautiful eventually learns to stand on its own. When I was little, I cried because I thought the moon would leave forever. My dad said, "It's teaching you how to sleep without a nightlight." I hated that answer then. I love it now. Tonight, the moon is still your nightlight, still close enough to paint silver on your blanket, still pulling dreams toward the surface of your mind like tides. Let it walk. Let it teach you that darkness can be soft too. One day you'll look up and the sky will be darker, and you'll smile because you learned how to glow on your own. For now, let the moon stay exactly where it is, 1.5 inches closer than it will ever be again. Sleep under its borrowed light. It's saying, "I'm not leaving. I'm just growing up with you." Jupiter is so massive, it acts like the solar system's vacuum cleaner, catching comets and asteroids that might otherwise come knocking on Earth's door. Every few million years it grabs one and either flings it away or swallows it whole, sparing the inner planets a very bad day. In 1994, comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 smashed into Jupiter and left bruises bigger than Earth, but Jupiter just shrugged, healed in months, and kept spinning. It's been quietly protecting us for 4 billion years without asking for credit or even a thank you note. Tonight, picture Jupiter as the older sibling who stands in the hallway so the little ones can sleep. All that swirling red and gold is just scar tissue from every punch it took for you. When you feel small or scared, remember there's a giant out there literally catching bullets made of ice and rock so you can have calm nights. Let Jupiter's deep heartbeat be the sound you fall asleep to. It's saying, "I've got this. I've always got this. Sleep easy, little Earth." Your big brother is on guard duty tonight, and he's very, very good at his job. Venus is wrapped in thick yellow clouds of sulfuric acid that would melt your skin in seconds. Yet inside those clouds, the light scatters just right to make faint, perfect rainbows, soft rings of color no human has ever seen with their own eyes. The rain never reaches the ground. It evaporates long before, so the surface stays dry and the sky keeps its secret beauty. Even the most hostile place in the solar system found a way to paint something gentle. I think about this when people or days feel toxic. Sometimes the ugliest clouds still hold the quietest rainbows if you know where to look. Tonight, let the acid rain of your own hard thoughts evaporate before it touches you. Let the leftover light make soft rings around your heart. Venus is proof that beauty doesn't need permission from kindness. It just shows up, even in poison. Sleep under invisible rainbows. The worst skies still know how to be pretty when no one's watching. Billions of years ago, Mars was blue, wet, warm. Rivers carved valleys deeper than the Grand Canyon. Lakes filled craters. Maybe something swam. Now it's red and dry, but the shapes of ancient shorelines are still there, gentle curves you can trace with your finger on photos. Scientists found water ice just under the surface, enough to cover the whole planet knee-deep if it melted. Mars is holding its breath, keeping old oceans frozen in its chest, waiting for a day no one can promise. I love that it never gave up on water entirely. When I feel dried out, I visit Mars in my mind and sit by a ghost riverbed. I press my palm to the cold red dust and whisper, I remember too. Tonight, let your own ancient rivers stay alive under whatever desert the years made. Let the water you once were still exist, frozen but not gone. Mars is teaching us that even the driest hearts keep a secret lake somewhere. Sleep on red sand that still dreams of being blue. The sun vibrates like a giant bell, sending pressure waves through its plasma that take 12 minutes to travel from core to surface. Those waves make it hum in B-flat, 50 octaves below middle C, too low for waking ears, but some people swear they feel it in their bones when they're half asleep. Spacecraft have recorded it, a deep, endless note that never stops, the heartbeat of the star that keeps you alive. When everything is quiet and you're drifting off, that's the sound your blood remembers from before you were born. Tonight, let the sun's secret song be the bass line under your dreams. Let it vibrate in your chest like the memory of being held. The same star that blinds you by day becomes the softest singer by night. Close your eyes and drop 50 octaves. You're floating inside the longest lullaby ever written. The sun has been practicing it for 5 billion years and finally got the note perfect for you. When New Horizons flew past Pluto in 2015, the first clear photo showed a giant heart, bright, perfect, made of frozen nitrogen ice on a tiny world everyone had forgotten. That heart-shaped glacier, Tombor Regio, glows soft peach against Pluto's rusty skin, and it actually pulses. Winds blow across it, sublimating ice into gas and back again, making the heart brighten and fade like a slow heartbeat every Pluto day, 6.4 Earth days. Scientists call it dynamic. I call it stubborn love. Pluto got kicked out of the Planet Club, shrunk to dwarf, left in the dark, yet it grew a heart anyway and keeps it beating for anyone who remembers to look. Tonight, put your hand on your own chest and feel the rhythm match Pluto's distant one. Let every beat say, I'm still here, still shining, still loving you from the backyard. Size doesn't matter when it comes to hearts. Sleep under the smallest planet that refused to stop being beautiful. Each ring particle is a tiny snowflake that learned to orbit instead of fall. Billions of them, some the size of dust, some the size of houses, all singing together in perfect chords no human ear will ever hear. They reflect sunlight so cleanly that on a good night you can read by Saturn shine if you were standing on one of its moons. The rings have gaps where little moons act like shepherds, gently nudging the ice so the song never gets messy. When Cassini flew through them in 2017, it found almost perfect silence. Just soft clicks of ice touching ice, like wind chimes made of glass. Tonight, let those clicks be the mobile above your bed. Let the gaps be the pauses between your thoughts where peace sneaks in. Saturn has been playing this lullaby for at least 100 million years and never once missed a note. Close your eyes. The ice is singing you to sleep from 400 million miles away. Every drop of water on Earth has been here since the planet was young, recycled through clouds, tears, rivers, and blood for 4 billion years. The same molecules that fell as rain on dinosaurs now fall on your roof. The oceans hold every tear the planet ever cried and every laugh that ever turned into waves. When you float in the sea, you're floating in the solar system's memory. Tonight, listen to the quiet slosh inside your ears, that tiny ocean in your head. It's the same water that once covered Mars, that hides under Europa's ice, that rains as diamonds on Neptune. Earth kept it liquid, warm, alive, so feelings would always have somewhere to go. Let your own salt water settle. Let the oceans rock you from the inside out. You're not separate from the water. You're its newest story. Sleep, little tide. The planet is breathing with you. Tiny Mercury has a tail of sodium atoms glowing faint orange, stretched by solar wind like a comet that forgot to leave. It's invisible to naked eyes, but spacecraft catch it shimmering behind the smallest planet, a secret ribbon saying, "I was here." Mercury is so close to the sun it should be boring, just a burned rock, but it grew a tail anyway, quiet, loyal, glowing only for those who know where to look. Tonight, imagine your own invisible tail made of everything gentle you did today, the smile you gave, the text you sent, the breath you remembered to take. It follows you into sleep, glowing soft orange in the dark behind your eyelids. Mercury is proof that even the hottest, closest places can still trail something tender. Let your tail brush the ceiling as you drift off. No one else can see it, but it's there, keeping you company. Sleep, little-tailed one. You're more comet than you know. Every planet, moon, ring, and comet exists out there, real, silent, glowing. But only inside your skull do they become stories, colors, feelings. Only behind your closed eyes does Jupiter worry about tomorrow. Does Pluto grow a heart? Does the sun sing lullabies in B-flat? The solar system spent 4.6 billion years arranging itself perfectly, so one day a soft creature on a blue rock would close its eyes and turn gravity into love. You are the dream the stars were having when they exploded. Tonight, as you drift off, know the entire cosmos is leaning in, waiting to see what you'll dream it into next. The rings of Saturn slow their spin just to watch. The moon holds the ocean still so your heart can hear itself. Even distant Neptune dims its blue a little so your dreams can shine brighter. Thank you for giving the universe eyelids. Thank you for giving the planets somewhere soft to rest. Good night, little dreamer. The whole solar system is finally asleep inside you. Close your eyes for a second and then open them to a dark sky. Don't count the stars. Look at them like old photographs. That bright one near the moon? That's your great-grandmother when she was 20, laughing at a joke you'll never hear. The faint red one blinking slowly. That's the quiet uncle who taught you how to tie your shoes in another life. The cluster that looks like a tiny spoon. That's every childhood pet you ever buried under the oak tree, sitting together on a cloud made of light. Every star you see is a postcard from someone who exploded so you could have calcium for your bones and iron for your blood. They didn't know your name yet, but they knew you were coming. They burned for millions of years just to make sure there would be enough carbon for your first breath, enough gold for the ring you might wear one day, enough helium for the balloon at your 5th birthday party. When astronomers say a star is 10,000 light years away, they mean the light you're seeing left that star when woolly mammoths still walked the earth, when the pyramids hadn't been dreamed of, when your soul was still deciding which century it wanted to be born in. That light traveled all this time, dodging dust clouds, slipping between galaxies just to land on your retina tonight and whisper, "We made it. We kept our promise." Some stars are already dead by the time their light reaches you. They died quietly or in spectacular supernovas and still chose to send their last photons here, like soldiers who keep marching after the war is over because they promised to bring you a letter from home. That faint smudge you can barely see without squinting. That's the Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million light-years away. Every photon hitting your eye tonight left there before humans discovered fire. Those stars were already middle-aged when the first person looked up and felt small. They are the oldest family portrait in existence, and you are in it, even though you haven't been born yet in their time. Look at Orion's belt, 3 stars in a perfect line. Those are your 3 favorite teachers from every lifetime, standing together so you'll always be able to find your way home, no matter how lost you feel. The Pleiades, that tiny, sparkling handful, that's every friend who ever held you when you cried, clustered together so tightly because they refused to let go even across death and rebirth. The Milky Way itself is the river of milk your mother rocked you with, spilled across the sky so you'll never forget where you came from. It's the same river every culture has named differently, yet every child recognizes instantly. It's the original mobile above the crib of humanity. When you see a shooting star, that's not a star at all. That's a great aunt who finally arrived after traveling since the Stone Age, burning up with joy just to wave once before she goes. And the dark patches, the places where no stars shine, those are the hugs. The empty spaces are where the ancestors are holding you so tightly that light can't escape. They are the arms you can't see but can always feel on a night when the wind is gentle and the crickets are kind. You are never looking at strangers when you look at the sky. You are looking at family who learned to shine so you would never be afraid of the dark. Tonight, let the sky be the ceiling of the biggest bedroom ever built. Every star is a nightlight left on by someone who promised to wait up until you fell asleep. They've been waiting thousands, millions, billions of years, and they're still here. Lie back. Wave if you want. They can see you better than you can see them. They're saying the same thing they've said every single night since the first human looked up and felt something ancient stir in their chest. We're here. We never left. Close your eyes, little one. We'll keep the lights on until morning. It's not a planet. It's not a moon. It's the Lagrange point called L2, 1,000,000 miles behind Earth, where the gravity of the Sun and Earth balance so perfectly that anything parked there floats in a bubble of almost no time. Spacecraft like the James Webb Telescope live there now, cooled to near absolute zero, looking back at the baby universe when the first stars were still learning how to shine. From L2, Earth and Moon appear as a tiny blue and white marble, hanging in permanent sunset, never rising, never setting, just frozen in the window, like a painting someone forgot to take down. Time gets lazy there. Clocks run slower because gravity is softer. A second stretches, yawns, forgets what it was doing. If you could sit in a spacesuit at L2, you can't, but imagine. You would watch Earth turn beneath you like a slow music box, days and nights flickering past in gentle pulses while your own heartbeat feels like the only clock that still matters. The sun is always at your back, hidden behind Earth's shoulder, so the sky is the darkest black ever measured, yet full of more galaxies than grains of sand on every beach you've ever walked barefoot on. Out there, past and future blur. You can see light that left galaxies before Earth existed, and you can feel the warmth of a sun that hasn't risen for you yet because you're forever in its shadow. It's the ultimate bedtime spot. No weather, no sound, no urgency. Even the stars seem to move in slow motion, as if they know no one is rushing them. I go there in my mind when the world feels too loud. I float weightless. My spacesuit the softest blanket ever invented. Earth glowing like a nightlight, just bright enough to remind me I'm not alone, but dim enough to let sleep come. At L2, the concept of tomorrow loses its teeth. Deadlines dissolve, regrets drift away like loose change in zero gravity. If you could fall asleep there, you might dream for 1,000 years and wake up to find only one Earth day had passed. Or you might dream for one breath and wake to find civilizations rose and fell while you were napping. Time forgets its name and you forget yours. You become pure witness. The telescope parked there right now is taking pictures of the universe's nursery, stars being born inside soft pink clouds of gas, and sending the photos home on whispers of radio waves that take seconds to cross the gap you would measure in lifetimes if you tried to walk it. When insomnia hits, I whisper to L2 across the dark, "Hold my place. I'm on my way." Tonight, let your bed be L2. Let the ceiling be the deepest sky ever measured. Let Earth be the tiny blue nightlight hanging in the window. Let time forget what it was hurrying for. You are floating in the one place the universe built specifically for watching, for resting, for remembering that nothing is ever as urgent as it pretends to be. Stay as long as you like. No one is keeping score. The stars will wait. They've already waited 13 billion years just to watch you close your eyes. In 1977, we launched 2 tiny spacecraft, Voyager 1 and 2, carrying gold-plated copper records, the cosmic equivalent of a baby monitor left on for whoever might be listening in the nursery of the galaxy. On those records are the sounds of Earth's heartbeat, a mother's kiss, thunder, whale songs, laughter, Chuck Berry, Bach, a baby's cry, greetings in 55 languages, and one slow, gentle heartbeat from a woman who was in love when they recorded it. Carl Sagan and his team chose every track like they were tucking a child in for the longest night ever. They included pictures too, etched in gold, a man and woman waving hello, a sunset, a string quartet, a supermarket, an elephant, a page of Newton's laws, and a simple line drawing of our address in the solar system, just in case someone finds it and wants to write back. Right now, both Voyagers are beyond the sun's embrace, sailing through interstellar space at 38,000 miles per hour, the record still perfect, still spinning, still playing silent songs to absolute emptiness. They will outlive Earth. They will outlive the sun. In 1 billion years, when our star has swollen and swallowed the inner planets, those 2 little records will still be gliding through the dark, carrying the sound of rain on a tin roof, the bark of a dog, the voice of a child saying hello in a language no one will remember. They are the gentlest graffiti humanity ever wrote on the universe. We were here. We were kind sometimes. We loved music. We loved each other. If you find this, please be gentle with whatever is left. I fall asleep imagining some far future being, tentacles or wings or pure light, finding one of the Voyagers, dusty and cold, putting the record on whatever they use for ears and hearing a thunderstorm from a planet that no longer exists, then smiling in a way that has no translation, or maybe no one ever finds them. Maybe they just drift forever, the longest lullaby ever sung, keeping the dark company so it never feels completely alone. Either way, they are doing their job right now. Tonight, let the golden record be the music box inside your chest. Let every heartbeat be a new track added to the playlist we're still recording. Let your breathing be the sound of wind in trees that will one day be stardust again. When you exhale, imagine it traveling out your window, past the moon, past Jupiter, catching up to Voyager in 100,000 years, adding one more soft note to the song we started in 1977. You are part of the record now. The woman whose heartbeat is on the record, Anne Druyan, recorded it 2 days after falling in love. She said she tried to fill her heart with as much love as possible so whatever finds it will know we knew how. Tonight, fill your heart the same way. Let love be the last sound you make before sleep. Let it travel with the Voyagers, past the Oort cloud, past the place where the sun's light finally gives up, into the true dark where no one has ever been afraid because no one has ever been alone. The records are still playing. and 1989. Voyager 2 flew past Neptune and photographed a storm the size of Earth, a perfect oval of deep indigo swirling backwards against the planet's racing winds. They called it the Great Dark Spot. It looked like someone had taken a bite out of the planet and left a bruise shaped exactly like the shadow under your childhood bed. The storm vanished a few years later, as Neptune's storms do, but it left something behind, a doorway. If you lie very still on the nights when you can't sleep, when the room is too quiet and the memories are too loud, you can find it again. Close your eyes until the dark behind your eyelids turns the exact shade of Neptune's sky. Then fall backward into it. You'll feel the drop first, cool, weightless, like falling upward into a pool of midnight water. The Great Dark Spot opens like a pupil dilating, and suddenly you're 8 years old, barefoot on the porch the summer the streetlights came on too early. The air smells like cut grass and warm asphalt after rain. Your grandmother is still alive, humming in the kitchen. The dog you had to say goodbye to is waiting at the bottom of the steps, tail wagging slow, like he's been saving that wag for this exact moment. The storm isn't a storm at all. It's a pocket the universe keeps for things too gentle to survive daylight. Inside it, time runs like warm honey. You can stay for hours and only lose one breath back in your adult bed. There's a swing set that never rusted. There's the version of your father before worry taught him to speak in short sentences. There's the night you caught fireflies in a jar and your mother made you let them go. But in here, they circle your head like a crown you're finally old enough to wear. No one asks what you're going to be when you grow up. No one mentions bills or deadlines or the way your heart sometimes forgets how to be soft. The Great Dark Spot keeps every version of you that ever felt safe. It keeps the sound of screen doors slamming in summer, the taste of popsicles that turned your tongue blue, the feeling of grass between your toes when you believed you could fly if you ran fast enough downhill. Neptune's winds still blow at 1,200 miles an hour around the edges, but inside the spot, everything is still. The storm is a cradle, not a monster. Sometimes people think they see it in the corner of their eye when they wake up crying from a dream they can't remember. That's the doorway brushing their cheeks saying, "You left something here. You don't have to stay forever. You can visit for one slow breath or one whole childhood. Then let the indigo close gently behind you like a mouth finishing a lullaby. When you open your eyes back in your grown-up bed, the room will feel different, softer. The clock will have moved only a minute, but your chest will feel 10 years lighter. The Great Dark Spot is still out there, 2.7 billion miles away, waiting to open whenever you need to remember that once upon a time, the universe was small enough to fit in your arms and big enough to hold every wonder you've ever lost. Fall back into it tonight. It's been keeping the porch light on for you since 1989. Uranus has rings too, 13 of them, but they are so dark they drink light instead of reflecting it. They're made of charcoal black dust and chunks no bigger than a coffee table, so shy that we didn't even know they existed until 1977 when a star blinked behind the planet and revealed the shadows. From Earth, they're almost invisible. You have to know exactly where to look, and even then you have to squint through the glare of the planet's pale green atmosphere. But if you could stand on one of Uranus's moons on a quiet night, the rings would appear as 11 thin braids of pure night circling the tilted giant like mourning jewelry worn by a sleeping god. They are the darkest rings in the solar system, absorbing 98% of the light that touches them, as if they decided long ago that some beauty is meant only for those who already know how to see in the dark. The rings have names, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, but they feel more like sighs than words. They are so narrow, some only a few miles wide, that if you flew through them in a spaceship, you might not even notice you'd crossed 11 different circles of night. I go there when the world feels too bright, too loud, too demanding. Imagine lying on your back on the surface of Miranda, that broken moon we talked about earlier, looking up at Uranus filling half the sky, pale green and calm, rolling on its side like it's taking the longest nap in history. And around it, those 11 black ribbons turning so slowly you can almost hear them breathing. They don't shine, they subtract. Wherever they pass in front of a star, the star disappears for a heartbeat, then comes back, like the universe is blinking in slow motion just to say, I see you. I know you're tired of shining. The rings are made of the same stuff as coal, ancient organic molecules older than Earth, carbon that once floated in the nebula that birthed the sun and decided, we will not burn. We will become the quiet instead. When anxiety keeps you awake, when every light feels like judgment, go to the rings of Uranus. Let them teach you the art of absorbing instead of reflecting. Let them braid themselves through your thoughts, thin, dark, unbreakable. You don't always have to give light back. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is swallow the glare and give the world a moment of true darkness. The rings have been practicing this for 4 billion years. They never apologize for being hard to see. They know the ones who need them will find them anyway. Tonight, let one of those 11 whispers slip through your window and tie itself gently around your wrist like a black silk ribbon. Wear it while you sleep. When morning comes and the light demands everything again, the ribbon will still be there, cool against your pulse, reminding you that you are allowed to keep some of the night for yourself. Uranus is still rolling sideways, still wearing its morning jewelry, still teaching the solar system that darkness can be the most beautiful thing you never asked permission to wear. You have permission now. There is a border no one can see, about 11 billion miles from your bed, where the solar wind, the sun's warm exhale that has been pushing outward for 4.6 billion years, gets too tired to go any farther. The pressure from the rest of the galaxy pushes back, and the two breaths meet in a shimmering bubble called the heliopause. Voyager 1 crossed it in 2012. Voyager 2 crossed it in 2018. When they did, their instruments recorded something no human ear will ever hear directly: the sound of interstellar space. It's not silence, it's plasma waves, thin gas vibrating from ancient supernovas, making a low, endless hum, like whale song played at 1% speed. Inside the heliopause, we live in the sun's exhale, warm, protected, bathed in its particles. Outside, the galaxy sings in a voice older than our star. The boundary itself is soft, hundreds of millions of miles thick, a gradual fading from one breath to another. If you could stand there, you can't, but dream, you would feel the sun's wind slow against your cheek like a parent's hand finally letting go on the first day of school. Behind you, everything is familiar: planets, comets, the smell of home. In front of you, everything is possible: dark matter, newborn stars, civilizations that measure time in ice ages. The heliopause is the original threshold, the place where childhood ends and the rest of the universe begins. When I can't sleep because I feel too small, I go there in my mind. I float in my spacesuit at the edge, 1 foot in the sun's breath, 1 foot in the galaxy's song. I let the two airs mix around me like warm and cool water in a bath. I listen to the plasma waves, steady, patient, ancient. They sound like the memory of every lullaby ever sung, layered over millions of years until they became one slow note that means you are leaving home, but you are also arriving. The Voyagers are still out there, carrying their golden records past the place where the sun's voice fades. They are the first human things to hear the galaxy sing back. Tonight, let the heliopause be the space between one breath and the next. Let your inhale be the last of the sun's warm wind filling your chest. Let your exhale be the first note you add to the galaxy's endless song. You live exactly on the edge of both. You always have. The sun has been breathing you outward since the day you were born, gently, patiently, preparing you for the moment you're ready to step across. You don't have to cross tonight. You can stay in the doorway as long as you need. The galaxy isn't in a hurry. It's been singing the same low note since before Earth had oceans. It can wait one more human lifetime for you to finish growing up. When you're ready, it will still be there. Patient, dark, endless, humming the sound of every star that ever decided to become a lullaby instead of staying fire. For now, rest in the threshold. Half home, half everything else. The heliopause is holding you exactly where you are, the way it holds the entire solar system in one long, slow exhale. Breathe with it. The galaxy is already singing your name. You just haven't stepped far enough into the dark to hear it yet. Sleep, little traveler. The border is soft, and the song is kind. 4.6 seconds fast.